What up, world? What up, everybody out there? Coop, how you doing on this wonderful Friday?
Blessed, highly favored,
Yes,
tired.
sir. Yes, sir. All those things.
All those things.
We want to welcome everybody into the room. I know we probably made it like a false start or whatnot. That's probably gonna prohibit people from coming in the room. Oh, we got our first person in the room. What up? Watch Po 2. Yes. Well, this is what's about to happen. And I'm sitting here looking at the chat right now, and it's official. The clicking noise is gone. So anybody who had an issue with the clicking noise being in all of our previous podcasts, it's no longer an issue, and those other podcasts are now going to be archived as historic, I guess, historic moments in our podcast history because you're not going to get that clicking sound no more. What up, everybody in the room? Everybody's coming in the room. Yes, yes, yes. You already know. We talking Tana Talk 4.
Yeah, you already know. You already know what we're doing.
You already know what we doing. I already see some of the songs in the chat right now. 10 more crack commandments is hard, is what I'm hearing. Man, are we gonna just jump right into it? A salute to the family that's coming in. I want to give people a minute to come in. Let's have some small talk before we get in. Somebody said it's about time. Says Mike is the GOAT. Why am I the GOAT? Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. If y'all talking about me going to Eminem fans,
So
I got one more left today. Got one more in the chamber.
quick question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have the list posted with the production credits on Tana Talk 4?
Yes, I do. That's what I was gonna go to while we're talking to it, speaking to it. Excuse me.
Okay, so because you're gonna have to let me know which ones belong to Dan. Well, I mean, some of them I can just.
You can just tell. Terminator 2 said y'all better address Slaughterhouse, Mike D. We can address Slaughterhouse very quickly. Are you abreast on what's going on with Slaughterhouse?
I actually did see. One of the few things that I watched in the past couple of weeks was Ortiz and Royce and Budden, and then I saw Crooked Eyes reply when he touched down in Florida, all via according to hip hop's media outlet page. So, yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
Oh, we're starting off with that.
We can just real quick, before we want to get people in so we can start talking about Benny's album, Tana Talk 4.
It sounds very petty. Seems very petty. Somebody's lying. Just on a fundamental level, seems very petty, and somebody's lying.
You know what? I've been, oddly enough, I've been following and posting and stuff, but I didn't really delve into the particulars because, again, it all seemed kind of petty and whatever. This is what I will say about Joe Budden as a public figure and all that. Like, Joe Budden, he's hard for a lot of people to swallow, but he don't really be lying like that. He speaks his mind, and he comes across as somebody that's straightforward with it. From what I understand, Joe retired from rap.
Correct.
Why people won't just let him retire? You know
what do you
I
mean? Hold on. What are you saying? What you mean? Why won't people let him retire?
I mean, do they not want him to come back into the fold with Slaughterhouse? Is that the issue? What's the issue?
I mean, I thought the issue was that they felt like the Slaughter. I mean, Joel and Crooked venturing off into a deal where I believe, branding and pieces of the Slaughterhouse name and brand are being utilized, but Royce and Joe are not involved.
Right.
What Joel and Crooked are saying is that, the opportunity for you to be a part of this was submitted to both of you, and you both declined in various and nefarious ways.
Okay.
But somebody lying. And here's what I'll tell you. And it's funny that you bring up Budden. And I'm not saying this to say that he's the one lying. But here's what I know. I used to have a couple of friends on West Boulevard. I mean, can I tell a story real quick?
Go ahead.
A couple of friends on West Boulevard on the west side of Charlotte I went to middle school with. He was a year ahead of us, I believe. I had a female friend. They ended up dating. He got her pregnant. Now, I knew both of them. He went to jail. When he got out of jail, Mike, he had all types of stuff to say about their situation and their relationship. I remember running into her on the city bus 2 weeks after I ran into him on the same city bus because we all lived on the same side of town on West Boulevard, just in different parts of the hood. The truth came out, but the truth came out via another source outside of their situation. And that is usually where you find the truth.
Right.
So as much as all of these guys are talking, just like that whole hood situation went with her getting pregnant, him getting locked up and all the gossip, well, the truth actually came from outside source who didn't even live on West Boulevard.
Well, okay. Here's my question. And again, for somebody who's not totally in the loop with that particular situation, does Royce, because I did see that Royce said he was disappointed, right? I don't know if he was talking about the actual record or if he was talking about them taking the Slaughterhouse brand somewhere else. Does Royce or Joe have a problem that they went and got a deal on the Slaughterhouse name?
I think that from what I gather, because I literally just watched those two videos and watched nothing more or read nothing more than that, it appears to me that, yes, it appears like y'all are pitching this like some Slaughterhouse, and also kind of made it seem like they kind of playing it like they did a fuck move too. You know what I'm saying? Like Royce and Joe are treating Crooked and Joel like they pulled a little fast one too.
Well, I think the origins of Slaughterhouse start with Joe and Royce, so that's kind of the problematic part of it, right?
Okay, see, now I was never solid about how they came to be, but if that is true, then that might be why they're taking stock in this. But from what I gathered, if what Joel and Crooked is saying is true in terms of, well, we came to you and offered and you declined or really didn't get back with us, well, then at that point, what Royce and Joe is saying isn't as solid if that actually happened. Like if that happened. Like if there are phone calls, text messages, or meetings that were supposed to take place where this was offered to you and you declined and then they accepted something and you're over here like, eh. Now also too, if this is part of their brand and you're using the brand, you know how I feel about people getting paid for their work, Mike. So it's like maybe part of the problem is in the fact that, well, y'all are using our shit. And nowhere in this paperwork is discussing compensation of using the brand.
Because Slaughterhouse, and correct me, anybody in the room if I'm wrong, Slaughterhouse came together on a Joe Budden mixtape with the collaboration of these four MCs on a song called Slaughterhouse.
No, now that I know. Now that I remember. But that's what I mean is that.
And I thought it was Royce's relationship with Joe that actually made this whole collective happen.
Okay, I thought it was Royce that made it happen just because Royce is really the one with all the relationships.
Right. Nas the GOAT says the Slaughterhouse idea was Royce's idea. Okay, I've heard that too.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I mean is like I'm not clear because that was my original thought too. And Royce has always been the one with all the various relationships, like not just with these guys, just in general. He's always been good at keeping relationships with people for the most part in this industry.
Now, the other part of it, and kind of why Joe said what he said on that live to Ortiz. Are they dissing Joe and Royce on the album?
I don't know that to speak to that.
Okay, we need to do more research on this. I know Terminator 2 wanted us to talk about this, but we need to do a little bit more.
Hold on, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean about, well, the real information is going to come from an outside source because all of these guys, this is the journalist side of me. All of y'all, I'm not saying any of y'all are lying, but all of y'all are holding something back from a piece of the story. That's the reporter in me that can just kind of tell. It's like, some a little crooked about everybody's story except for Crooked Eyes, maybe.
Now, what was his perspective? Because I didn't see him when he got off the plane.
I mean, his perspective pretty much was, you know what it is. You know what was offered to you. You know how you handled it. I'm out here getting this paper. Good night. He was just straight and direct and to the point about it. And usually the person that says the least, you know what I'm saying? So he looks the most credible because he said the least. But we'll see.
Gotta go check out the album. I haven't had a chance to listen to that album or Dave East's album yet. And we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 says it's Eminem's fault. I don't know how it's Eminem's fault, but
please.
I have no idea. All right, let's talk Tana Talk 4, man.
Yeah, let's talk.
All right, so we have been talking about Benny and the potential of Benny, and we're At one point, they were calling us a Griselda podcast because it seemed like every week that's what we were covering. And Benny has been chipping away at, just becoming a main name in hip hop, period, over the past, I would say about 3-4 years now. I would say since about 2018.
Yeah, since I was strong.
And this was a very anticipated effort. And today we got it. We got Tana Talk 4. What was your reaction just our first listen to Tana Talk 4?
It's great, and it's the album of the year so far, in my opinion.
Album of the year so far, huh?
Yes, it is. It's the album of the year right now.
You know what? I love how we got Johnny P's Caddy as the first look, and it was actually the first song. I thought that was a very fitting first song because he brought it, and then of course J. Cole brought it, and I feel like the momentum of the album just continued to ascend even from there.
So I feel like this is the culmination of a lot of things. I mean, one, this guy pays attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both know that. He pays attention on a few levels. He pays attention to what you say and what I say, I think. But he pays attention to what goes on with his contemporaries, most notably his cousins, Westside and Conway. The first thing that I noticed is just like you, because we're going to do a full breakdown of this. First thing I noticed, like you, Johnny P's Caddy is what starts it off. Well, that lets me know that this album is about to be pretty damn dope if you're starting it off like that, because you're not hiding that record. That means you're comfortable letting a record that strong go off rip.
Yeah.
That means you have heat. Song number 2. This is the first thing I noticed.
Let's get to the track list. Go ahead.
Yeah, back 2 times. What was one of the main complaints about Westside's album?
Features.
On part 2.
Stove.
Stove was too far back.
Yeah. Stove is in the front. No, you're
Stove
right.
Where it belonged. See how Benny's paying attention?
Wait a minute. I didn't catch that. Yeah, that's crazy. Hold on one second. Let me get to DeCarlo super chat. And I'm going to let you finish that thought because I think that's very interesting. DeCarlo said Benny delivered with this one. This is what we needed from him to properly place him among his peers with certainty. Yes. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Now, go back to that point that you were saying that we got Stove in the front because for the listeners who are just now starting to listen to our podcast, Coop's criticism of Westside's album was the fact that Stove's features were in the back.
Yeah. Oyster Tag and 99 Averex are in the back. You need to run that up. That's Stove.
I didn't even notice that, yeah. He got Stove at number 2.
You see how Stove went crazy too, right?
Oh, yeah. Stove's hook game is crazy.
What I tell you, he's Method Man today with the hooks. I told you. He's
Joe Bro says Stove kills every feature and hook. Yeah. His hook game is high.
Meth. Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of meth and hook game, man, I want to apologize to the people out there, in our breakdown the other night. Most Def's hook game is a 10.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about Brown Skin Lady and shit like that. And even if you think about Definition.
No. I mean, you and I talked behind the scenes via text message the other night. And I even said it, and you said it too. It's like, yeah, we bugging. Most hook game are 10.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people whose hook game is more versatile or better or memorable.
No, my homie says.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Stove is up there, though. He's the current guy with these hooks, man.
Remember when I said this last year, I was like, yo, Stove with the hooks is like Method Man with the hooks. People's like, oh, you bugging. It's like, no, I ain't bugging. I know what I'm hearing. That dude crazy. And his spit game is you know what I'm saying, is just as entertaining as his hook game. Like this, I wasn't impressed with the song that he dropped last year, but as far as features and hooks go, you're gonna be hard pressed to find somebody more impressive the last 2-3 years than Stove. And Reasonable Drought was still pretty great in its own right.
I want to ask the people in the room though, while we're going down the list of this track list, what's your favorite song on Tana Talk 4? I'm seeing some people in the chat say that they thought Tana Talk 3 was better. Someone also asked if we thought this was better than God Doesn't Make Mistakes. Do you want to get to that yet, or you want to just...
I mean, we can get to the long thought process inside of it later. I do think that it's slightly better than God Don't Make Mistakes. Just in all honesty, I do think that it's slightly better than Tana Talk 3, although Tana Talk 3 probably still has more breathtaking highlights, but that's because you're getting acquainted with him for the first time.
I agree. I think it has more home runs than this one, but I think from beginning to end, it's hard for me to say Tana Talk 3 is better than Tana Talk 4.
Right. He flashes on Tana Talk 3 more, but part of why he flashes is because you're not as acquainted. So when you're hearing Rubber Bands and Wait or Rick or 97 Hove for the first time, you're like, who is this guy?
Right.
Like, who is this dude?
It's that flash effect.
It's that flash effect in Tana Talk 3, just in all honesty, if you want to be objective, it's just not as consistent as this project.
It's not. And I love Tana Talk 3.
Me too. We feel like it's his best project. It's not in what this is, though.
No, all right, Super Plug is next. Yes, Man says that's 5 out of 5. He said a banger from production, bars, storytelling. Benny delivers.
Once again, I have Super Plug, Mike, Super Plug. That's my shit.
It's your favorite song on here?
It's between Super Plug, Uncle Bun, or Busta Brick Nick.
I was gonna say Busta Brick Nick. What did you think about? Well, we're getting to it. We're gonna go track for track. So, what all you got to say about Super Plug, other than Alchemist is a top 5 producer all time?
First of all, at some point, we're going to talk about Alchemist.
We're gonna talk about Alchemist after this because what Alchemist is doing right now, man. I told you offline. Alchemist is the DJ premier of today. What DJ Premier was in the 90s, and being able to work with every credible MC who has some bars and give them a track or two. Alchemist is doing that now, like from Benny to Conway to Westside. And then you jump outside of that, then you got Currency, you got Freddie.
Don't forget
Boldy. He's making full albums with these guys.
Full albums.
And they're dope-ass albums, too.
Alfredo, anybody? Alfredo or Freddie Gibbs?
What he's doing right now cannot be ignored. And he's been doing this for a long time.
You want to know what? Actually, we need to hand out producer flowers today, too. Can we go back to the first track and see who produced what? Because I know it's all Alchemist and Derringer featuring Beat Butcher somewhere.
Well, let's do that. Johnny P's Caddy is the Alchemist.
Okay.
Back 2 times, that's Derringer and Beat Butcher. Derringer Beat Butcher, I'm talking about Ann. Super Plug, that's the Alchemist.
Yeah, that's how. Okay, so let's stop right there. I just want to make sure we're seeing production-wise where it's going.
Okay.
Super Plug is the record that actually flashes to me like a Tana Talk 3 record, like Rick, like 97 Hove, like Rubber Bands and Wait. That's the guy right there. And so you feel him on that record. When he's in that pocket, that's where you feel him most, because that's where he feels himself most. And so, for me, what his steez is right there in that record, in that hook. You know what I mean? That's him. I can hear the truth and the grit behind it, and it sticks to you different when he does that. That's his pocket. So Super Plug, that's the shit that core-wise, he should always do, in my opinion. Because it's always going to work for him the same way something like Keep It Thorough is always going to work for Prodigy. The same way Jada Kiss coming in with the witty punchline is always going to work for him. When he creates that feeling he creates on Super Plug, he's there. He's where he belongs as an MC. And that's not to say that he can't do more. But right there.
Okay.
Next record.
We got Weekends in the Perrys featuring Boldy James. That's Alchemist as well.
Yep, that's Alchemist too. Boldy's flow is nimble on there. Boldy's flow over the past 18 months has been getting a little bit more nimble on these tracks. And most of them are Alchemist tracks because, once again, to talk about Alchemist, well, he just did what? He just did 4 of Boldy's last 7 projects, I think.
Yeah.
By himself.
It's insane what the Alchemist is doing right now. Alchemist, you got some producers in the basement or something helping you out with all this stuff? This is some RZA shit.
That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. I actually wanted to talk about where we need to place him in the top 5, because outside of Dre and RZA and Kanye, it may be Premier just because of the home runs with the home run artists. I don't know if we can put anybody ahead of him at this point. There's too many epic beats.
It's funny, man. It's like, I'm a huge RZA fan. And, RZA made some of my favorite beats ever in hip hop. Like, if we talk about Fourth Chamber, we talk about Ice Cream, we talk about, Shadow Boxing, whatever. I can go on and on. And I remember seeing a poll. It might have been almost 10 years ago now. It was on another page. I want to say it was Ambrosia for Heads or something. And they were doing like a tournament style thing. And it was RZA versus Alchemist. And it was super close. And I'm like, man, people are bugging. Like, how is this even close? Like, no disrespect to Alchemist. But I might be eating my words 10 years later, man. It's going to be very difficult, even as a RZA fan here, to make a legit argument for what he's been able to do over the past 22 years. We were just talking about offline, like, keep it thorough, we gonna make it. That was like 2000. It's 2022.
I mean, okay, all honesty though, what he's really going to have, it's going to be hard for him to go further than where he's gone unless the artists do something special for him. Because, like, how about this? Do you think he's a better beat maker than Pete Rock or Jay Dilla?
Somebody just mentioned Dilla in the chat.
Right. He's not a better beat maker than those guys. But for separate reasons, obviously, the work, Mike. Do I think he's a better beat maker than Pete Rock or Dilla? No. Pete Rock doesn't work. Even though Pete Rock worked, he don't work like this at this level, this long. And obviously we know what happened with Dilla, so I don't even think I need to express or explain that. But when you put all of those things together, it's like, is he the beat maker that RZA is in terms of originality? No. Dilla, Q-Tip? No. Consistency? Got all of them.
It's the output. And the output is jarring. It's like, it can't be ignored. It can't be ignored.
And to be honest with you, and here's how I feel, well, the difference right now between Alchemist and RZA is Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, and Method Man.
Well, the thing is, we got to keep it real.
Bastard. You get what I'm saying? No, because the MC matters, because even when you go to Dre and Primo, go look at the MCs rhyming over their shit. And so what I'm saying is that, man, well, RZA got ODB, Method Man, Raekwon, and Ghostface. So that's just advantage in terms of how those records are going to come out.
And we also have to be honest and look at what has RZA really done outside of those individuals in a more current space. Because the thing is, with production and being a producer, it's not like being an artist where you sit there and see somebody get old on stage. Like, you're a producer, your mind works, you have a musical mind. You should be able to keep that going. And what I will say is, like, RZA had 4 strong years, probably 4 of the strongest years you can ever think of in hip hop. But does 4 strong years debunk 22 years of consistency? It's very hard. So and I saw K. Thompson in there. He said something about Dilla being more diverse. Of course. Dilla's something else.
Dilla's something else.
We're talking,
I'm about to say, if we're just talking about, well, you want somebody to build a beat from scratch. Well, then Dilla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all know that. But other factors get taken into place in production, just like MCing. But to the point, like with Alchemist and RZA, but what I'm trying to, it's very Biggie like what RZA did in those 5-6 years, though, Mike. And so when you're like, is that 5-6 years enough? It's like versus almost everybody in the history of rap production-wise. Yes, it is. Just like what Biggie did in that, like, 4 or 5 year gap is better and enough for him eternally to be in the top 10. No, same effect with RZA in that. Because,
I think it's different, and I'm a RZA fan.
Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying when I say this, Mike, and you should know this as a Q-Tip fan. Well, East Coast hip hop sounded like Q-Tip, Large Professor, and Pete Rock before Enter the Wu-Tang, and it's been sounding like RZA and Havoc since. So you can't say that because he literally.
But RZA is still putting out records though. Like, did we listen to?
I get what you're saying, but where's I mean, like he shifted the climate of the whole coast style of beat making. Alchemist never had that effect. And here's the reality of the matter: for as great as Alchemist is, and for the records he produced. Does he have a classic album that he produced from end to end that's fucking with the purple tape or Enter the Wu-Tang?
But again, that's part of the MC.
Hold on. We're not done saying all the albums yet. You get what I'm saying? Or Iron Man. Does he have?
I feel you.
Supreme Clientele, because that's executive produced by RZA. So for 22 years of those greatness, I just gave you 5 RZA albums in 5 years. Go show me the Alchemist executive produced albums better than that, because the closest that you're gonna get is Alfredo, this, and something else, and that ain't got shit on the purple tape.
I'm gonna be. Let's say this respectfully. Show me the MCs that he made a whole project for that are at the level of Ghostface, Method Man, and Raekwon. So that's not really a knock on him per se.
So let's go back to my original point.
Let's just say in a vacuum, right? Mm-hmm. Do you not feel like Ghostface in his prime, RZA in his, I mean not RZA, Raekwon in his prime, and Method Man in their prime, in his prime, and ODB working with the Alchemist? You don't think he would have been able to make a classic record for them just based on what you're hearing from what he's able to make with so many dope MCs consistently?
No, Mike, I don't think you heard what I said. I said right now, what is separating RZA and Alchemist is Method Man, Old Dirty Bastard, Raekwon, and Ghostface. So I'm actually agreed to what you're saying before you're saying it, but that doesn't change history.
I think we're disagreeing on the actual result, though. We all agree that those MCs gave him an advantage as a producer, but and we've talked about this before. I think for me, I think that the greater producer is somebody who can work with a diverse array of talent and sometimes lesser talent and get more output.
I can agree with you on that to a degree.
It's like a coach, you know what I mean? Like I give Larry Brown props, right? You know what I'm saying? Because Larry Brown never had superstars, but he got the best out of the players that he had. And if he had a superstar, he had one. You know what I mean?
Hold on. See, but that's what I mean. You're not telling the whole story. Part of the reason why Larry Brown never had superstars is because Larry Brown wore everybody out with his coaching style, so it was harder for him to stay anywhere more than 5 years. So
that's fair, but he came with results.
No, so listen to what I'm saying, though. Do I think Alchemist could have done the same job RZA did with those MCs? Yes, it's a definite possibility. But in reality, Supreme Clientele, Liquid Swords, Into the Wu-Tang, Only Built for Cuban Links, Return to the 36 Chambers, to Cal, Wu-Tang, those exist, Mike.
They do exist.
And Alchemist don't have that.
RZA doesn't either.
No, Mike. He has that. As a matter of fact, him having that is really the only reason he's even in this conversation, because it's not that just he was a great producer on those albums. That's some of the best rap shit ever.
I agree with you. And I started off what I said with that, but like you said, man.
What Alchemist is doing. That's different than what Alchemist provides, because what Alchemist isn't providing you is some of the best rap stuff, genre shifting, culture shifting stuff of all time. RZA did that. Okay. He's giving you more modern day classics, and he's proven himself transitional over eras to be it. But there's not one album of Alchemist that he executive produced that you're going to cut on that's going to ignite the feeling of RZA's 4 to 6 best produced executive projects. So, like, you can't put him.
I understand that, and I think we all are in agreement on that. I think where
he's not better than.
I think where we're disagreeing is at some point we got to reward those who go to work.
No, you know how I feel about people going to work.
You know what I'm saying? And I love RZA. I just wish that I got that feeling from some records, you know, over the past 22 years at least. Like, what he can't produce anymore? Like, what is it?
No, it's not that. I guess in this climate, Mike, and maybe I'm not just giving a RZA a pass about this, Mike, because you're saying something very valid, especially about the producers. And I heard what you said earlier about the production mind. and how it's not like it's an MC where it's like you got more of a shelf life. It's like, no, your mind is geared towards something different, so you can extend this player longer. What I would submit to you, because of how hip hop has always been, most of these all-time great producers that we're talking about, Mike, I mean, they just flash for me now anyway outside of Alchemist. It's like how many, I mean, all jokes aside, outside of Ye, when the last time you heard some Dre beats where you was like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Where you was really, really like,
yeah.
The last time you checked for Pete Rock really was Brutus. Mike, you feel what I'm saying? The last time you checked for
record.
A dope-ass record. Last time you checked for Q-Tip. Last time you checked for Preem. So it's like we don't really check for these guys anymore to do that because of what they already did. It was already enough. And of all those guys who did it, RZA was the one who did it the best. He's really the one with the album of executive produced classic. Mike, he did more than Q-Tip did in a shorter time in terms of making classic executive produced albums.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons why, and you know, I want to address this too. I think somebody said that the super chats ain't working. Maybe I turned off the, maybe me turning off the clicks did something with that. We gotta fix that. Hold on one second. They said the super chats ain't working for them. I want to ask you this though. I mean, because I think that this is valid. The reason why Wu-Tang albums didn't continue at the level that they needed to, or should have, is because of the production, right?
Well, they burned him out for one. There was every beat like produced by him, with the exception of like one or two here and there. Mm-hmm. So there was a burnout factor, but there was also too, like the game kind of changed too. Like you got to remember Wu-Tang coming out, Wu-Tang Forever's coming out in 1997, which is the same year that I guess what they say the shiny suit era is kind of like in there too. And so, like you have to understand when 1997 is coming around, like half of their camp are bona fide rap stars now, like Ray and Ghost and Meth. Like they're stars by the time 1997 is rolling around. Dirty's something else. Like Dirty's already an icon in 1997, Mike.
But they also have Fourth Disciple and True Master. And
I mean, True Master did Heaters on Wu-Tang Forever, and he did Brooklyn Zoo.
Yeah, I mean it was shared around on Wu-Tang Forever.
Fourth Disciple did Scary Hours, Cash Still Rules.
Actually, my favorite song on there.
And True Master did Heaters, but those were the only beats they did on there. True Master did the MGM. Sorry.
Oh, and these are big records, man. What are we talking about?
You know how I feel about the MGM. You know how I feel about the MGM.
I mean, we could go on and on about that. I know we want to get back to Tana talk real quick. I'm gonna try to fix this issue with the super chats. Y'all let me know what type of message y'all are getting. It's saying it's blocked or whatever. But go ahead.
So
we are on what number are we on?
Weekend at Perry.
Okay.
Weekend in the Perry, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, that super chat worked. Mad Max was able to get in. He said, LOL. The RZA hold on one second. And then we'll get back to Weekend at Perry. Chat's going in, man. Love it. All right. Mad Max says, LOL, the reason that you got the Wu, no disrespect to the Alchemist, but the purple tape alone is better than anything Alchemist has done over the past 22 years. Let's stop. Okay.
So Mike, that's not what I'm saying. It's not just that it's the purple tape. It would be different if he had one album like that. Like, no, Mike, he has 5 albums like that.
My only thing, and I love RZA, like I said, does he never fall from the rankings when we haven't gotten anything recent? And when I say recent, I mean past 20 years as a producer. You know what I mean? Like, I get you being burnt out and in 97, 98, and what was Silkworm and all that stuff, that was like 98. And even with Supreme Clientele, there was a variety of people there. Now, maybe he just don't want to produce, and that could be a thing.
I mean, that could be a thing, too, because, I mean, he could be locked and set in stone, but this is what I'm going to keep on submitting to you. Well, what really needs to happen to move... Okay, so, once upon a time, Mike, in this culture, Marley Marl was considered to be the greatest hip-hop producer of all time.
He's still one of them, in my opinion.
I agree. Because you can't take away what he's done
No.
and the classic albums that he produced and the classic records that he produced. And so because of that, you can't move him. And what I intend to tell you is in the hip hop spectrum of executive production of albums, where you are actually the majority beat maker, nobody in this rap shit has it like RZA. It is
Was
hard
he
to
not moved by RZA? No, now let's be real here.
Right, he was moved by RZA. You know what
Yeah.
it took to move Marley Marl? It took DJ Premier working with arguably the three greatest MCs of all time, in Nas, Big, and Jay. And it took RZA literally having the best producer run ever in terms of quality output of albums with some of the greatest MCs of all time that we didn't know were the greatest MCs of all time at the time. Like, it took epic stuff to move Marley Marl. And it's going to take the same thing to move RZA. And I haven't heard one producer coming from anywhere in the last 20 years that has a catalog, production-wise, that says, Enter the Wu-Tang, Return to the 36 Chambers, Only Built for Cuban Links, Liquid Swords, Iron Man, Wu-Tang Forever, and I made 98% of the beats on there and executive produced it? No, the closest thing Alchemist has is Alfredo. Where would you put Alfredo in the canon of those albums I just named? And that's why RZA's going to stand where he's going to stand. Because for as great as Alchemist is in 22 years, he hasn't made one project that equals the 6 projects I just named. And he's great. And it's cool.
That's fair.
But that's RZA.
Let's get back to Tana talk.
Yeah, that's RZA. Like I told you, RZA can fade Dre. Mike, RZA can fade Dre.
No, wait a minute. One of our first podcasts, I told you, I was like, yo, RZA's going to beat Premier in that versus.
You did tell me that. And I told you Premier needed to pay all his Big and J and Nas haymakers, as in every last one.
We got to have I see we got to have a producer conversation because I'm getting a lot of stuff in the chat.
Yeah.
So I said, what about Swiss? What about him? No, I'm just kidding.
Don't get Mike started on Swiss. Don't do that.
Weekends in the Perrys featuring Boldy James, man. You know what I got from this record? And I like the record. But it felt like they didn't make this song together. I mean, and I don't know if they didn't, but they sounded very separate. But maybe because I'm so used to Boldy James working with Alchemist anyway, and they kind of got their own flavor and their own vibe. But, you know, it felt like a punch in, but it was a dope record.
You know, I think this is one of those records. I would agree with you to a degree. It's a dope record. And Benny even references it on the track. He says, I got Alchemist up later. You know, so he was burning the midnight oil. So for me, this could have been something that they made late and woke up the next day and Boldy came in because they're in LA, you know what I mean? And it's Alchemist. Alchemist and Boldy are always working together. So this could have been something he caught the wind of the next day. Could have been one of those 3-4 in the morning sessions. You waking up in the like 9-10 o'clock, go get some breakfast, you know. Boldy comes in back. So it could have been one of those where, Boldy, listen to what we did last night. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, I hate to switch off, but so many people in the chat are saying this. They're saying that RZA would not fade Dr. Dre in a versus.
Okay.
I don't know, guys.
Keep on telling yourself that. Keep on telling yourself.
Guys. I mean,
keep on telling yourself that.
And you know what? I don't know. And I say I don't know because I am I'm the person on one hand that said that Dr. Dre stuff hits different, comes through the speakers different, and it does.
It does.
It does. So I don't know. I think that would actually be a really good matchup. I think that creatively...
Hold on. This hip-hop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Bring the Pain, that Incarcerated Scarfaces, that Cream.
That energy that those RZA records have?
Yeah, it's different.
I think the only Dre songs that got that kind of energy is the Snoop shit.
And a couple of other joints out there, like In the Club. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got some other stuff floating out there, but it's like, you play In the Club, it's like, I'm going to play Cream or Ice Cream.
Well, we got to go back to, like, the NWA stuff to get that kind of energy, too.
Those beats aren't as good. You play those beats against RZA, you're taking the L. You can play some
I
of the
don't know,
stuff.
man. You play Straight Outta Compton, man. Straight Outta Compton hard.
You can play Straight Outta Compton. You can play some of the records off Niggas for Life. You can play some of the stuff off the DLC, but you can't play... You got to be... You're not
can't play Fuck the Police. That beat doesn't hold up against RZA stuff.
You can't play most of them records against RZA best stuff. See, what he gonna do when something like shadowboxing come on? Even though that's Dre, he doesn't have anything inherently creative or original like shadowboxing, where it's like, oh my god, like what kind of crack is that? Like what is that?
I break it down to the bone gristle.
And the energy of the MCs, Mike. That's what I'm saying. I keep telling people this: when you hear RZA tracks, you're gonna hear Raekwon and Method Man, and Ghostface.
When it comes to RZA tracks, I don't know how to act.
You're gonna hear Inspector Deck and the Jizza. That's not fair. He's got an advantage because of the MCs that you're gonna hear rhyming on his beats. It's gonna be like, oh my god, like it's not fair.
And you know what, the thing, and I hate that they moved away from producers doing verses, because honestly, that makes the most sense. It's the most entertaining for the audience. But what happens when producers are doing the verses, you don't have to be inundated with somebody performing the record. You're actually just playing the record as is. And I think that's really an advantage for RZA in a certain sense. You know what I mean? Because you play Incarcerated Scarfaces, that shit feels like it did when it first dropped.
That's what I mean about the energy of the MCs, the time and what they doing. It was so culture shifting. That's what I mean. Those records, when they drop, it's not regular.
Yo, man, name brings up a good one. These Nuts is hard.
These Nuts is my favorite beat on the Chronic.
It's crazy. That beat in itself is like the quintessential 90s West Coast hip hop sound. Like it is like the sound. Like that shit is crazy.
I didn't say that he would beat Dre.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm saying he can. I didn't say he would, but I'm saying he can.
Okay, I think that's a better way to place it. He can.
As long as he's not sipping and picking the tracks, there'll be no more of that.
Rigorol said it's only 20. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to look at it. And I think that Dre would have the same problem that Premier had going against RZA. He has so much to choose from. With RZA, you know what you're about to get.
Right. No, I mean, like,
you know what you're about to get.
Like, hold on. It's like, this is what I mean about it's different. Well, what you got for Bring the Pain, really?
Explosive is hard, man.
Right. No. But hold on. This is what I'm saying. Explosive is going to win.
Phone tap.
But y'all talking about the best of the best. We can just go through RZA tracks. That's what I'm saying. Verbal Intercourse, Guillotine, Incarcerated Scarfaces, Ice Cream.
You know, listen. I smell a mock versus coming on.
Killer Hills 10304, Duel of the Iron Mike. You want me to keep going? Like, this is ridiculous.
I smell a mock versus coming on. I'll take Dre.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
I'll take Dre.
Right. I'm going to be pulling up all types of production credits. Who played the guitar and the keyboards on this one? Because it's just RZA over here.
Nah, K. Thompson. Nah, not at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could do that.
I mean, we can do that?
Yeah, I'm with it. I'll take Dre.
Good luck.
I think I got a lot of luck on my side when it comes to that one, man. But the only problem with Dre is we have to understand, like, what he actually produced. I think that's the biggest discrepancy.
Right. Hold on. Because I was about to say, if you're doing Dre, you got to let me play Wu-Tang records that maybe RZA didn't produce, because maybe Dre didn't produce all of these records, like, depending on what you pick. Like, because if I get to pick Brooklyn Zoo, like, you're not going to win if I can insert Brooklyn Zoo, you're not going to win. If I get to play Brooklyn Zoo, you're not going to win. Because then I can play Bring the Pain, Brooklyn Zoo, and Incarcerated Scarfaces in order. You're going to have to bring your heat out right there. You're going to have to bring all your heat out.
I don't want to get into that. I'm going to play the stuff that I know that Dre made. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're going to do that?
I'm going to play the stuff I know Dre made, because I don't want you out here playing True Master shit and Fourth Disciple. That's not what this format was made for.
If you're doing that, let's go.
Okay. Mad Max has another super chat. He said RZA beating Dre. Daz was better than Dre. Oh, he said RZA's beating Dre. Daz is better than Dre.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
But I get what
we got to put some respect on Dr. Dre's name. So, are you guys going to sit here and say that still DRE is Scott Storch?
Scott Storch seems to think so.
He played it on his verses. All right, this is how we're going to work this. If somebody else's name is on the production credit for a track and Dre's name's not on it at all, then yeah. I can't play that.
Okay.
But if Dre's name's on it, I should be able to play that. You should be able to play something like, because I think RZA played Brooklyn Zoo, and his name's not even on the credits. Yeah, we can't do that.
Definitely planning on playing Bring the Pain, Brooklyn Zoo, and Incarcerated Scarfaces in order. In order.
I pretty much know what you're going to play, man, because, I mean, I'm a RZA fan. I know what you should play. I'll put it that way.
Hey, you want to know what? It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
There you go. All right. Speaking of which, go to the next track. We got 10 more commandments.
So can I say something right quick? This record is super dope. And maybe it's just because I'm so in love with the first version. Maybe it's just because I feel like it can't be duplicated. But I wasn't as impressed as everybody else is with this record, but it's a really dope record. I just think, personally for me, Johnny P's Caddy, Back 2 Times, and Superplug, I preferred more. But that's not to say that this wasn't really dope. It was actually one of those things that solidified for me how great the album was. Because I was like, oh man, this record's pretty great. And I don't even think it's one of the 2 best tracks I've heard so far. And I'm on track 5.
All right. That's a couple things, man. I mean, I dig the concept. I think Benny did his thing on it. I'm glad they chose a different beat. I was scared that he was going to go with the Premier beat. I think they might have attempted that because remember he said that he was in the studio with Premier?
I was going to talk about that, but you want to go there?
Yeah, let's go there. I mean, we're on that song.
I mean, Primo didn't make this album, and so because this is where I pulled the production credits, because I was like, that don't sound like Preem. Like, what? And so I immediately thought, well, this is about to be album of the year. And this is where I paused right here, because let me tell you what happened. Last night, I was waiting for this album to drop. All jokes aside, Mike, I fell asleep about 11:40. I woke up about 12:11. I grabbed the phone. I grabbed my headphones. I came down right here and I sat and I listened to this album right here.
Nice.
Till 1 o'clock in the morning. You got my text when you woke up. When I got right here, and I stopped, because I thought everything that I heard was brilliant to this point. But when I got right here, before the track even played past 15 seconds, I was like, that's not Preem. I stopped, and that's when I checked the production credits, and that's when I was like, I'm like, this motherfucker's serious. Preem didn't make the cut on this album.
So you think that's what? Well, I guess that is what happened. Either that, or they saved it for something else, or maybe he's working on something else with Preem.
Might be holding, but whatever he did with Preem didn't fit into the mold of what he had going on. Now, at the time that Preem came on, based on what I was seeing on social media, Alchemist and Derringer had already did some work. So whatever happened with Preem, not to say that it wasn't dope enough, but I'm saying it didn't fit the zone that he was in. And he, appropriately, Preem didn't make this album for a reason. And it's not to say the record wasn't good enough, but even what was going on, even if they tried to do something with this record, it wasn't good enough to make this album in terms of how the fit went. And that's when I knew he was crafting this album super seriously. And I'm like, oh man, the rest of this album's about to sound this way, which means it's going to be the first album that he's made that sounds this way. You feel
What do you think about Puff being on this track? Necessary or?
It shows his pull. And so I like the flex. I usually don't like flexes like these, but how about this? I prefer you flex like this than do a whole album with Hit Boy. You feel me?
That's fair.
I prefer you go cover the Biggie subject matter and put Puff on, than do the whole Hit Boy thing trying to fit. No, I like this flex more for him, and he pulled it off well. It's still a dope record. What do you think about it?
I'm on the fence, man, because again, I agree with what you said about the flex, and I dig that because it shows that people are paying attention to what Griselda's doing, Benny in particular, including somebody as big and notable as Puff. And it gives that cosign. It reminds me of when Rick Ross redid "You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You."
I didn't like that.
You know what? It's funny you say that.
You do.
I didn't like when I first heard it was happening. I didn't like it. I'm like, that song shouldn't be touched. And then I'm like, man, this is actually really good. Rick Ross did a good job. And, you know, Puff coming on there, co-signing and whatnot. It's what's necessary if you're going to attempt to do that. And so I think that's where it's a double thing with Benny here. It's like, okay, you need that stamp of approval from Puff. And also, like you said, it's that flex. Like, look, we're big time now. Because it don't get no bigger than Puff.
No, it doesn't. Just real quick, I didn't like the Ross thing, and here's why. It's not that the record's not good. That's the greatest song to ever end one of the greatest rap albums ever. And it's actually a career-ending song because we really never get a full record off of an album from him ever again. It's one of his best, and it's one of his best mic performances ever. It's a chilling mic performance. It is a foreshadowing and foretelling mic performance. Puff is literally speaking psalms to start off the song. Yeah. So no, I don't like it being touched. That's different than touching the 10 Crack Commandments.
No, you know, he didn't even really touch it. He just added on to it.
The main thing that I liked about the record and what I appreciated is that he tried to add on to it and not replicate it. And you see it immediately when he starts at 20 instead of starting at 11. He's like, no, I'm backwards. I'm not even going to try to continue it like that. Got you. That's one of those things again. Oh, he's thinking. He knows how our hardcore Biggie fans feel. And he's not even going to misstep it since he's already making the play to redo it. It's one of those thinking moments where I feel like I can see that he's leveled up in terms of his behind the scenes. The MC, the voice, the flow is there. This is one of those things. Oh, he's thinking now. He's running the 10 Crack Commandments backwards, 20 to 11. I'm not going to pick up where he left off. I can't pick up where Big left off. He's thinking.
Yeah. Nah, I like the approach. I think that was really dope. And, you know, again, I know one of my predictions for this album was the fact that we were going to get 97 Hole Part 2 with Jay on here. I think there was a missed opportunity, not from Benny, but from Jay, to be a part of this project. I think that would have been a great look for Jay-Z to be on this project.
So and also too, if first of all, Jay should have been on this project just because, well, the only real outsider on this project is J. Cole and Puff. So Benny kept it strictly in camp. So for an album this good, even for Jay, like, you should take that seriously and want to insert yourself and contribute to this. Because I imagine that Benny has so much respect for Hov that this is the type of album that he would want to take 6 or 7 tracks to Hov before even asking him to be on it.
No, like, for real.
See what I got going on? Challenge. You feel me?
Straight up.
So you're right. Jay actually missed an opportunity because I actually do want to talk about, like, when we get done, like, part of what makes this album great, and we talk about this so many times. Well, all the guest appearances are great, but it still feels like his shit.
Exactly. And again, people have to understand that can happen. This doesn't feel like a bunch of features, and I think we're going to get to one of the major features, in my personal opinion.
Right, hold on. Who did the beat for 10 More? That's Derringer?
Yeah.
It felt like Derringer, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. So we got Tyson versus Ali.
Right.
A personal favorite here. That's Derringer featuring Conway the Machine.
Yep.
I think this is another one, man, that according to hip hop is one of those platforms that, you know, we kind of started off doing a lot of comparisons, MC comparisons. And I know we've done some polls with, you know, Conway and Benny before. And they've always been super close. And then you always have people in the comments like, yo, you can't compare the two like how we would do with Method Man, Redman, or whatever. And this song sounds like a play on that. You know what I mean? On the fact that fans are out here saying that, okay, who's better between Conway and Benny?
Okay,
and I'm gonna be real. Conway murdered this shit.
So on Conway's "Look What I Became," which I think is 2019 or 2018. Let me check and see. Give me 1 second. 1 second. It won't take me long to pull it up because I keep that shit with me. Oh, no wonder it's on my iTunes. It's under iTunes.
And by the way, I think Ali would beat Tyson any day. That's just my personal opinion.
Tyson would never get close to Ali.
Yeah.
He's 6'2". His reach is like that of somebody. He's 6'2" and a half. He has the reach of somebody about 6'7", 6'8". The most lethal jab in the history of boxing, like the type of jab that can keep you from hitting him the entire fight. You have to be exceptionally powerful, sound, swift, and tactful to beat him, or he just has to be past his prime. Nobody's beating that guy in his prime.
I think Joe Frazier has a very similar style to Tyson, and he did a good job. Joe Frazier is
so much more fundamentally sound as a boxer than Mike Tyson was after Customato died, so it's not the same conversation. Joe Frazier is sound.
Yeah.
And punishing.
Yeah.
Like both of those things at the same time, as in footwork, head work, body work, arm work, everything working and gonna stick your ass and you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Ali,
different.
pound for pound, man, is the best boxer I've ever seen.
Yeah, period.
Heavyweight, but
so on Conway's album, Look What I Became, they have a back and forth, Benny and Conway, on Tito's back, which I think is one of the better back and forths, actually. It's very Styles and Jada-like with the back and forth. And you can hear where they're kind of on the same level as MCs, in my opinion. And Conway has just ascended somewhere special since there. And so even though I feel like Conway has the better verse on here, I feel Benny is about as close as he's been to Conway since George Bondo and since Tito's back, which was 2019 and early 2020. And I say this to say one of the more impressive things about the album is that we already know Benny's great and lyrically sharp. He did up it a notch for this album. He did. And this is the record where it shows because, to be quite honest with you, for about the last 18 months, Conway's just been straight up out rapping him, and I didn't totally feel this way about this record. That was the first time I didn't feel that way in a minute.
Yeah, no. They gel really well. I think
they always gel really well.
Yeah, I think Benny was in the zone on this album. Like you said, even with everyone on here, they all felt like it was his song. Because I do feel like J. Cole had a better verse than him. But it's slightly, but it's not by a lot. But it still feels like Benny's joint. You know what I mean?
Right, and it feels like Benny is there. That's what I mean. Okay, so first of all, like I don't know what type of water from the well that J. Cole and Lil Wayne are on, but like those are already all-time great MCs that are having like resurgent great runs right now.
I think they're inspired, man. I think it's just being inspired.
That's exactly what I'm about to say. Now, who's been inspiring these dudes to rap like this? Because they're actually doing songs. They've been doing songs with the guys that have been inspiring to rap like this. I hope people are paying attention.
Yeah.
Like the old heads that you're seeing rhyme their ass off, with the exception of Nas, who literally called Conway during Conway's drink camps and told him, "You that dude." I
was gonna say he's been listening too.
Well, he looked at Conway and pointed at him before all this music started dropping. Mike, like,
yeah.
Right before he started doing all this, he looked at Conway, you. So he's obviously paying attention.
Yeah.
AZ's obviously paying attention.
Straight up.
I mean, Mike, you and I were having behind the scenes conversation about giving AZ Lyricist of the Year until Nas dropped Magic, correct?
Correct.
We felt like Do or Die 2 lyrically was better than King's Disease 2, beginning to end, bar for bar.
Yeah.
Even though the songs weren't better and the album wasn't better, right?
No, correct.
Who album was AZ on? He on West Side's album.
Yeah.
He on Part B with Stove on 99 Averex. Who on AZ album? Lil Wayne and Conway on Ritual.
Yeah.
These niggas is inspiring dudes to rap. Conway might be at the focal point of it lyrically. No, Benny has something to do with this as well. And he's showing why on this album. Like, this is proof. Oh, you talk about burden of proof? No, this is the proof. It's the proof. This is the album that, critics, and by critics, I mean my black ass, because I'm the only person that I see ever criticizing what he's done the last year. This is what I'm talking about, because this is album of the year right now, very much the way that Alfredo was the album of the year when they got released about the same time 2 years ago. And it's very comparable to Alfredo. And I say that in glowing regards. You know how much I play Alfredo.
I was going to say, you do. Uncle Bun, featuring 38 Special. Listen, man.
This right here.
Yeah.
This shit right here.
He kind of 38 reminds me of Siegel on this.
You want to know what I heard? First of all, you can tell how long they've been rapping together.
Yeah.
Because the chemistry is just, it's bananas.
Yeah, man.
But real talk, this and Super Thug were my favorite records. Like just off first listen in the headphones and the second listen in the car, those were the songs that transitioned from headphones to whip the best.
I was listening to headphones last night and I was like, nah, I want to ride around to it today.
You need to ride in that 10.
Yeah, you just got to ride to it. No, that shit was hard, man. I always like when him and 38 get together, man. I liked him on Plugs too as well.
No, that's what I mean. They have great chemistry, but I don't know if they've ever popped like this on a record. And I mean, he's got stuff with Special, like from My First Brick, like some of his original stuff. That's what I mean. This is one of his original homies. That's what I mean when I said he kept this tight. Oh, Stove on here, Boldy on here, Conway on here, Westside on here, 38 on here. Rest of them dudes, that's home team type shit.
I think this is no, that's Derringer.
This is Derringer too, Uncle Bun?
Yep, that's Derringer.
This is one of Derringer's more impressive beats because this is a switch up from what you hear from him. I think, in my opinion. Like, it sounds like him. It's that RZA-inspired style of beat making.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different. And this record is great. And it's one of those... This is one of those songs that submit your album of the year like certification. When the track following the track with Conway is arguably as good and or not better, that's when you start having album of the year conversations. And I want to say something right quick just about like the thing with him and Conway.
Mm-hmm.
What they actually have is beautiful. It's like very, very rare that family members are considered ever in this high regard in the annals of hip hop at the same time. The only time I can really think of is the Jizza and Old Dirty Bastard as far as MCs. And nobody ever compared them because they were just so vastly different.
And I love how Conway is giving, Benny his props and just talking about how proud he is of him on the record, man. Like, I think that's dope. Because these guys have a lot to be proud of because they've really accomplished a lot. In a short period, I won't say a short period of time because they've been grinding for a minute. They changed the game. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, they changed the climate out here. And it's one of the reasons why, we're so hard on Kendrick and not coming outside because the climate has changed. And it's changed to some real rap shit. And the guy who says he's smoking on your top 5 is nowhere to be found.
Like, I mean... I say this in all seriousness, like Johnny P's Caddy alone, like that's 2 top 20 verse of the year caliber verses, like coming out.
Yeah.
Like the level is high here. That's why the level is high here. The level in the bar is high. And so I know people feel like we're hating sometimes. And by we, I mean me, because it's me they be talking about. But
we want the best out of these artists, and this is it.
Right. So hold on. You want to know what? I have been critical of Benny because you want to know what? I felt like he was capable of making projects like this.
Mm-hmm. Consistently.
So consistently, he just showed me that he is capable of making a great end-to-end project that is capable of being album of the year. And so if I'm criticizing you, well, then do what you're capable of doing and make me eat my words, because that's pretty much what Benny's doing today. I don't have no criticisms, really, because you want to know what? This guy came out. He performed at the level that he's capable of performing at. And on top of that, showed me some things. One of the things that's astounding about this album, one of the main criticisms, he's been the worst beat picker of the bunch in the camp. Can't say that about this one. This is on some Pray for Paris beat picking type shit.
That's high praise. I don't think it's quite there, but
it's diverse. It's not as diverse, but the quality is there. not as diverse. There's no Euro step style great beat on here, and there's no 500-pound ounces style beat on here, like that diverse great beat, or no vacancy. No, it's not that, but quality. Yeah, he went into Alchemist and Derringer shit like no. Like, no, that one right there for that feel. That's what I mean. Like, Super Plug, that's a whole feel with that track. Like, he picked that track to create that feel he's thinking about.
Let's get to the next track.
Yeah.
Thoway's Revenge.
I was a little afraid when this track first came on.
That's Alchemist, by the way.
It is. But this is the switch up. And I think he does just a good enough job on here that it comes off. I think it's the weakest joint on the album.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. If this is the weakest song on here, album of the year so far.
Billy Joe. That's the Alchemist.
Yeah, no. You can tell that's Alchemist. That's just hard.
Yeah.
That's just hard. I don't know what to say. Like, that's hard. Like, that's Griselda. That's that sound again. That's what they brought back to the game. They kind of like, well, the Locks used to do that. Right. Well, Mobb Deep used to do that. Well, Cool G Rap used to do that. You feel what I'm saying? That's what one of those records is. So that's what Billy Joe is.
Nas the GOAT says that's the best song on the album.
If you feel that way about it, I can't disagree with you because it creates that vibe and that feeling. And if that's what you're going to him for and that's what you know him for, no, I can't argue with that. Because it's a similar vibe to Super Plug in terms of him embodying that feeling and you feel and it coming off of him and not just lyrically and delivery wise. It's that aura. His aura is coming off.
Man says, I don't know about album of the year so far. What's better? What would you say is better?
I mean, because here's what I'll tell you. I think Conway's album is content-wise a little bit more diverse. Mm-hmm. But I think the beats on this album are better.
The real Leonard Jackson says, nah, you bugging, Coop. Thoway's Revenge, the weakest track? Nah, bro.
What's the weakest track on here?
What is the weakest track on here for people?
Right. Because hold on. Because it's not better than any track 1 through 7. That's for damn sure. Like, it's not better than any of those first 7 tracks. Mike, I mean, am I wrong here?
I'm looking at the track list right now.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Weekends in the Perrys would probably be the closest thing.
I was just about to say that. I was going to go there.
But I think that beat is better though.
Next song. And then we'll talk about the whole thing. Guerrero. Featuring Westside Gunn. I like that.
Me too. That was like 9 and 10. That's what I mean about he knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. It's like he's doing his thing. He's including everybody. And then he got on his Griselda shit right quick. And here it is, 9 and 10. That's that classic Griselda. That's the sound. And that's Westside. Westside comes off very well on this track too. And lyrically, I want to say this, like Benny is precise on this album. Mm-hmm. He's not Conway.
No, I realized that on this album too, and I like Benny a lot. But yeah, Conway is just in a whole different zone right now.
Well, you want to know what? He's special, and Benny's special too. But what you have to look at is that Benny has put his whole package together, so he doesn't need to be lyrically better than Conway. So when he's talking about the competition, I think we can kind of put that to bed too. On a level, it's like, well, no. We know Conway is lyrically better. Mm-hmm. We can establish that, but that doesn't mean that Benny can't have an equal career and have equal stature. Being the better lyricist does not equate to having the better career.
I'm seeing people saying that Weekend in the Perrys is the weakest song.
No, I was going to say, if you want to say Weekend in the Perrys is weaker than Thoway's Revenge, then we can have it. But those are the two, though. Those are the two songs on here that, on a song full of 4.5s and 5s, mm-hmm. those are the 2 4s. So either one of those. I prefer Weekends in the Perrys because I like hearing combinations of artists who I know work well together Benny and Boldy work well together. But if you want to go the other way, I feel you.
All right. What about Busta Bricknick?
It's the rhyme of the year right now.
I was thinking the same thing. I was listening to it. I was like, yo, this verse might be verse of the year so far.
Verse of the year.
Not sure.
It's no. I am.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
It's the rhyme of the year so far.
He did his thing.
No, who did that beat? Derringer?
The beat is Alchemist. That's Alchemist.
That's Alchemist?
Behringer and Beat Butcher did Guerrero.
Derringer and Beat Butcher did Guerrero. Okay, that's right, because I'm on track 10. I need to write down 11. Right?
Okay. Yeah, Busta Bricknick is 11. And that's the Alchemist.
It's just rhyme of the year. Like, I don't...
Yeah, ain't no other way to put it, man.
Ain't no other way to put it. That's the rhyme of the year so far.
Mr. Chow Hall, which is the closer, that's the Alchemist.
That was a nice personal touch to end the album that I wasn't expecting. Like, He kept his scenes, but there's some growth in there to be heard from this project too. You get what I'm saying? Like towards the end, you can hear like, well, he does what he does. He can give people what they want, but he can show some growth at the end too. I have nothing to complain about with this project. Beat wise, I mean, Mike, is this the best produced album this year? Right?
Yeah, so far this year.
So, I mean, one of the things that's been hurting him in terms of these albums sounding great has been his beat selection.
And what would you give this album out of 5?
4.75.
4.75.
Yeah.
What are you going to say about
what? Hold on. If there's 12 records, right?
Right.
The only records on here I would even think about skipping is Weekends in the Perrys and Thoey's Revenge. The same way I'm hard on him when I feel like the shit don't slap is the same way I'm going to praise him when I feel like he delivers. This album is a delivery. It is the delivery of lyrics. It's a delivery of rhyme schemes. It's a delivery of production. It's a delivery of what his core base likes and asks for. Where's the problem? The guest appearances aren't the problem. He's not the problem.
The beats aren't the problem.
The rhymes aren't
one could say that the lack of lyrical diversity in the content could be a problem.
I mean, it's Tana Talk 4, so I don't know what type of talk you were expecting.
Great 88 says 3.8. Terminator 2 says 3.5.
Okay.
Nas the Goat says, "Wow, that's too high, Coop." 4 out of 5.
I think both of y'all have been smoking 3.5s. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Rigger Raw says 4.25. Jordan House says 4, an absolute at the most.
I see
Damian Harris 3.75. AKs and Curtains is 4.
So I think I want to hear what all of those people who gave that rating think of Burden of Proof, because this is way better than that shit.
Yeah, do you guys think this is better than Burden of Proof? I see another person, Ross says, Tana Talk 4, hold on. It's moving so fast. Ross says, Tana Talk 4 is my favorite album so far this year. I love this album. Strong 4. I see 4 out of 5. I see 4.25. The real Leonard Washington says, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of flaws, but I can't give it a 4.7 out of 5. It's not less than a 4, though.
How can an album not have a lot of... Okay, so what is a 4 to y'all?
Did you guys like this album better than Burden of Proof?
Like, Gunna's album was a 4 to me. Gunna's album was a 4.
I was going to go 4.5. Yeah, people say 4.5, 4.5. Way better than Burden of Proof.
Okay, if it's way better than Burden of Proof, and Burden of Proof...
Well, these are different people saying this.
No, I'm just... No. We need to get our shit together up in here. Burden of Proof is a 4-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like 3.75, 4-ish.
Mm-hmm.
This is clearly a step ahead of that on every level. Like, if you take One Way Flight and Warpaint off a Burden of Proof, it's not even a 4, Mike.
You're right. I don't even listen to Burden of Proof. That's
what I'm talking about. What are y'all hearing? Because now it seems like people are being hard on him the way I've been. No. Now's not the time to do that. This shit is dope.
They said
I know what I heard. No. I know what I heard today. I heard Superplug. Superplug sound like something off Tana Talk. Back 2 times. Oh, that's Stove and Benny. They flexing on there. Johnny P's cat. Cole and Benny getting busy on there. Conway and Benny getting busy on Tyson versus Ali. Uncle Bun is bananas. No, y'all. No.
One of two things is gonna happen. We're gonna keep listening to this album like we listen to Alfredo, and it's just gonna sound better and better. Or we're gonna put this down like we did Burden of Proof and not pick it back up. We're just gonna have to circle back around and see which of these things gonna apply in the next coming months. And not to mention, Pusha T is dropping in 2 weeks. So I think, me personally, and I think we said this offline, I think that this album puts a lot of pressure on Pusha T.
Me too.
Not to mention that Pusha T has that Jay-Z verse that this one should have had.
Hold on, and you want to know what? This is why I'm saying 4.75 too. I've heard this album 3 times already.
Mm-hmm.
I always prefer to go down than go up. I don't like going up because when you go down, that means the replay factor isn't there. You know what I'm saying? Real. When that means the replay wasn't there. When you start down and then you go up, that means you wasn't fucking paying attention and you missed some shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep that 4.75, and we'll see how it holds. Because what I'm not about to do is give this a 4.25, because the beats alone and who he is as an MC alone says that if he delivers beat wise, the album's gonna be that. You get what I'm saying? If he delivers beat wise from end to end because of who he is as an MC, he's gonna give you a 4.25. Because guess what? That's what he did with Burden of Proof. You feel me? This isn't that. This is a level up from that. And so I'd rather be in a position of having to go down to a 4.5 than having to step up to a 4.75 if this shit holds. Like, I think it's about the hold. Like, that track with Stove is about to go on mixtapes, if they still make mixtapes or whatever it is that they do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever a mixtape is, it's about to be on all of them. He got Johnny P's Caddy floating around with Cole. He got 10 More Commandments floating around with Diddy. This is his last contractual obligation before he goes to Def Jam. No, he's touching all the bases and doing everything properly. 4.75.
I want to see how. I mean, I know we spoke about this earlier, but why do you think it's better than Conway's album?
Mostly production-wise.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I mean, because here's the thing. Lyrically, he caught up enough on this project for me. Mm-hmm. Not saying he's better or past him, but caught up enough. And beat-wise did a better job of beat selection from beginning to end. And this album is more entertaining. And this rap shit is about entertainment. So for some of the people that say Conway's album was boring, and I was like, nah, more safe than boring. This is what I'm talking about. Because this shit is more exciting than God Don't Make Mistakes.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there. Because we spent an hour on this. I kind of wanted to move on. I know that we don't have a whole bunch of time today on this Friday, but...
No, we got about another 30, 40 we playing with. Yeah.
Well, that's... You know how fast that goes by.
Right. Oh, my God.
Okay. So, when we put out our opinions about... You know, I think our last show, we talked about the Game and Eminem thing. Mm-hmm. And so... Some fans, hip-hop fans, they put out a list of what Eminem's verses will look like. And so there were 2 different lists, right?
Right.
One individual put out a list, it's the one I showed you, and Coop made a rebuttal with Game's list to that list. And then there was another list that I thought was slightly better than the first Eminem list, so I went ahead and made, a Game rebuttal to that. Regardless of what side you're on this debate, it's a valid debate. And I think that's the thing that we wanted to get to, is the fact that people are acting, or certain people out there acting like the Game isn't on Eminem's level. And, I think it's our job here to kind of put some of these conversations in context. Like when Jay-Z went out there and said that no one could stand on that versus stage with him, Coop and I teamed up, and, we did a mock versus with Rap Roundtable with Jay-Z records versus the Nas records, and we dispelled that notion. I think it was Memphis Bleak that said that Nas didn't have enough songs to go against Jay-Z. So We're just trying to put some of these conversations and internet chatter into context. So I
Yeah.
wanted to start off with your list and the list that.
Can we?
Go ahead.
Go. No. So first of all, I immediately had a thought when you were saying all that. It was like, you want to know what? You should have picked the Nas songs. I should have picked the J songs. People would have respected it more. That's actually what I was thinking. Because I know J catalog just as well as I know Nas catalog. People act like I'm not a big J fan. I'm a big J fan.
No, but we went against the Rap Roundtable.
No. I mean, but me and you have like done stuff before, and maybe like we should have done it that way too. But that's not to take anything away from Rap Roundtable. I'm just saying you and me probably should have done a list and inversed it just about like the credibility of it all. But here's what I will say. Like, for me, styles make fights. So my list of game records was just based on how I saw Dude build out that list of records.
Right.
That was it. So when people are like, well, you didn't pick One Blood, it's like, oh, well, I didn't think I needed to use One Blood to win. I actually used some game records that I'm not a big fan of, but I know they're more of his hit records. And so that guy was making it about like the hits and the notoriety. And so I just played games hits because it's like, yeah, your songs are hits with more notoriety, but my hits are actually hits that actually, sound better.
Well, I posted your list and that list on According to Hip Hop and on our YouTube channel. And it got a whole lot of engagement. I know on Facebook it got like over 1,000 comments. So
really?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to send to you. You said you don't have Facebook on your phone.
No, it wouldn't let me log in because I don't keep it on my phone anymore.
Okay, so what I'll do then, since that one has been seen, and we'll go back and circle back to that one. Let me go to the one that I just put up because I don't think we've seen that, and maybe we could take some sort of score on that. Do you have the list that I sent you? From me?
Yeah, I do because you know what I mean. I'm not gonna quibble with you much about your list because you much like me made your list probably based on what you saw you were up against.
And I'm gonna send that too. Let me send you what I was up against so you can see what the people are seeing.
Right, because I was seeing all sorts of lists at some point, so it was just like, oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Oh, totally. Because I was wondering, I'm like, why am I starting off with Ali Boumaier? I'm like, what this fool playing? We got to play Ali Boumaier first. But now I.
All right. So let's look at this.
Hold on. Can I say something right quick?
Go ahead.
None of the Nas records. And.
What's that?
No Nas records? None of the Nas records?
I got Why You Hate the Game on there.
Did you? Oh, yeah. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I got that on
there. Is
there.
that the one?
Yeah. All right, so.
Yeah, okay.
Till I Collapse or Ali Boumaier?
All
right.
You know how I feel about Ali Boumaier.
Me too. I'm a soldier.
Right?
Huh?
That's one of the best rap collaborations ever.
That sample is incredible, man. That sample deserves an award. Okay. Really what about Soldier and Bigger Than Me?
I'm indifferent. I'm not a big fan of either one of those records, even though people love Bigger Than Me. I'm not one of those people that's like totally like enamored with it.
Well, I'm going to ask the people in the chat. Eminem, I'm a Soldier, or The Game, Bigger Than Me? And it looks like we got Role Model versus Higher.
I actually like Role Models more than Higher. I'm not a fan of Higher like people are, Mike.
I like Role Model more too.
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest and objective.
The Way I Am and Dreams.
That's Dreams. But I see what you're doing, man.
That's crazy because you're a big The Way I Am fan.
No, hold on. So can we stop right quick? That's the thing right here about it is that like, is Dreams Game's best song? No. Is that Eminem's best song in my opinion? Yeah. Is that the problem with Eminem as an MC in this culture? Well, yeah, right there. Because The Games doesn't have to make his best rap song to be his best rap song, just like rap on some like rap song stuff. You feel me?
Right.
That's the thing right there. Because I don't think, I mean, just for me, as much as I love Dreams, I don't think it's Game's best rap song. You know what I mean? Do you?
No.
Right. Right. But do you think that it's better than The Way I Am?
It is.
It is. And so that would be the problem with Eminem right there in a vacuum in this culture, in this sphere, is that your best shot isn't better than Game's like 5th best shot and Game's a top 25-ish MC. So what is that saying?
You're right. What about Remember Me and One Blood?
Yeah, I like that you put One Blood in, and so that's a wrap. That's what I'm saying. I didn't even, Mike, I thought about ending it with One Blood, and then I was like, I don't need to play. I'm like, that's being mean.
No, fuck, no. This nigga's supposed to be one of the greatest motherfuckers ever. Fuck being mean.
See, I knew you. See, that's what I mean. See, I already knew the level you were at with it. It's like, man.
No, fuck all that. He's supposed to be one of the GOATs, right?
This is true.
All right. So, Remember Me and Let's Ride. No. Remember Me was One Blood. I'm Shady and Let's Ride.
See, okay, so how about this? Let's Ride was one of those records that I just picked because I know it was like a popular Game record and a single. I don't think it's one of Game's 20 best records. This is one of those times where it's like I would have played like House of Pain, Scream on them, Bulletproof Diaries, Church, Hallelujah, Jesus Peace. Like, so like he got stuff like that. It's like, that's what I mean. It's like, I don't even got it.
I still got Let's Ride on that one.
But me too. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not even a big fan of Let's Ride.
White America and Red Nation. Come on, man. That's next. Red Nation all the way.
Like, thank you for coming out.
You know, the Navy SEAL that went out there and had to kill Bin Laden wasn't listening to White America before he went out and did it.
Wasn't listening to I'm Not Afraid either. He definitely wasn't listening to I'm Not Afraid. Right? That wasn't
okay, Bad Meets Evil with Royce versus Wouldn't Get Far.
I like that choice. I'm going to go with Bad Meets Evil, actually.
Really?
I love that record. That's actually how I really got acquainted with him.
I'm going with Wouldn't Get Far. But I know what you mean. Like, that record was a big one. What do you guys say in the chat? Eminem, Bad Meets Evil featuring Royce, or The Game, Wouldn't Get Far featuring Kanye West? Go ahead.
So can I say something about Wouldn't Get Far and Let's Ride? Like, those were two records on the Doctor's Advocate that were big hits, and I felt like he had to make. But in the scope of that album, those songs are like the 7th and 8th best songs on that album. And that's what I mean about it's like, no, Game got stuff, because it's like, he can beat you with that stuff. It's like, man, go listen to, like, Mike, people were getting on me because I didn't pick Old English. It's like, no, I don't think you understand. We can go another 20. I'm picking Old English and Cali Vacation.
Wouldn't Get Far is winning this in the chat. Looks like. Game El Chapo. See, I wanted to pick El Chapo, but I paused on it. All right, Patiently Waiting or How We Do?
I'm cool with drawing that, actually. If you wanted to draw it, we can, but I would lean on How We Do because of the beat.
I like How We Do better, and I'm not just saying that either.
Here's what I mean. The beat is better on How We Do. The MCing is better on Patiently Waiting.
I think the flow of the songs is better on How We Do.
From beginning to end, it's a better song and more memorable. It's kind of funny. The song Patiently Waiting is on some rap shit, Mike. How We Do is the bang of these two. Right.
But, you know, the thing is, I didn't feel like the beat for Patiently Waiting said some rap shit. Like, they were just rapping really hard on it.
Okay.
But no, people in the chat are saying Patiently Waiting. I'll give it to Patiently Waiting. And
I was going to say draw.
That's still 3-6 right now.
I was going to say draw that, but yeah.
No, we'll give him one. That's all good. Forgot about Dre. As in My Life? That's Forgot About Dre.
Hold on, versus what?
My Life.
I love My Life, actually, low key, but it's not a competition.
Yeah. Guilty Conscience and Put You on the Game.
Let's put you on the game.
Let's put you on the game.
Unless people are about to say something. Even though I enjoy Guilty Conscience. I love the concept.
What's the difference and why you hate the game?
Ooh. That's still why you hate the game, but not by much.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Bitch Please 2, West Side Story.
Well, it's West Side Story, because that's Bitch Please 2. That's not Bitch. I said, well, that's West Side Story, because that's not Bitch Please, that's Bitch Please 2.
Exactly.
Right. The fact that you're using Bitch Please 2 is problematic.
Right. Shit on You and Celebration.
I don't like either one of those songs. You can draw that. You can let the people decide that. That's that happy shit.
Okay. Eminem D12, Shit on You, or the game Celebration. Who y'all got?
Celebrate. Is that the Bone remake?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, give me that.
That's what I was thinking, man.
Oh, they got Weezy on it?
Yep.
Give me Game and Weezy over the Bone remake.
Right.
Right.
Under the Influence or 100 featuring Drake?
That's 100.
This is a blowout right now.
He don't want this smoke, and that's what I'm saying. Like you understand? I mean, the records that you've named and that I've named too. Some of these aren't even my favorite game records. It's like that's why I was like in my game list, Mike. I don't know how long it took you to come up with yours. It took me about 15 minutes.
Man, all right. So we got Dead Wrong and 100. Oh no. The City.
You can give them Dead Wrong. The 7 different levels: the devil worshiping horses' heads.
Damn, man, but Kendrick Lamar had the breakthrough verse on the City. We'll give him Dead Wrong.
Animals and rabbits. I don't get into that. I kick the habit.
Renegade, a Rollin', produced by Kanye West.
Let's go Renegade. Yeah.
This one says, "What's the beat?" The DJ Clue freestyle, and I got Running.
Hold on. What the beat?
What's the beat? DJ Clue freestyle.
When he's talking about what the beat tells me to do with Royce, is that what he's talking about? I just do what the beat tells me to do?
I think so.
Yeah, that's dope. That's really dope. That's some of his dope shit. It is. What you got up against it?
I got Running.
Oh, well, he's taking that L.
All right.
Yeah, he's taking that L. But that record is dope. That What the Beat? Is that what it's called? What the Beat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that, isn't that like him and Redman? Or, yeah.
Let's see.
I want to pull that up because
yeah, pull that up.
I'm about to, because that record was really dope. It's not better than Running.
My Name Is and Hate It or Love It.
Yeah, What the Beat? Eminem, Method Man. Yep, that's the one. That beat is that track is great. It's just not running.
It's not running. All right. So My Name Is, Hate It or Love It.
Hate It or Love It. I don't even.
Lose Yourself and Welcome Home featuring Nipsey Hussle. We got Lose Yourself on that. That right there.
Yeah.
That list, we counted that out 13-7.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said the Eminem list this week. Well, you know what? We got another list.
Method Man and Royce. That's who it was. It wasn't Redman. It was Method Man and Royce with the beat. Yeah. I remember that, though. That's a really, really dope record, though, Mike. And he's right there with Meth and Royce, too. He is. That's what I was talking about when it's like, no, he be on his rap shit. He fine.
Well, just to be fair, that was just one, list that the Eminem fan put out there. And then there was another list that was put out there. And this is the one that Coop responded to with his game list. Let's go with that one real quick.
We can.
That
was a real saccharine list.
So, we got Lose Yourself, How We Do. I think I want to ask the people.
I'm not having that conversation with people.
What did you think?
It's how we do. It's not even a question. That's what I'm saying. It's not even a question.
Hi, My Name Is a West Side Story. Yeah. The Real Slim Shady or Let's Ride? Looks like 3-0 there.
3-0. That's what it is.
Stan and Dreams.
That's what Dreams. I did. It's still Dreams. So look, understand this. Like The Way I Am, Stan, that's 1 and 2. Those are his best records.
Listen, man. Come on, man. I mean, listen. Should we give him Stan? Because I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're being biased if we don't give him Stan."
We can give him Stan and make it.
Even though I know the Dreams is the better record, we'll give you Stan.
Didn't Kanye West produce Dreams?
Yes, Kanye West produced Dreams. You heard the story behind Dreams, right? Dreams is the song that Kanye produced for The Game, and Game was like on the shelf at the time, and The Game said this himself. He said he played Dreams for Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre was like, "Okay, let's get started with the documentary." That was the song that made Dr. Dre get started with the documentary.
All right. I'd like to thank you for noting that right quick while we tally up 3-1. It should be 4-0. Keep going.
Yeah, right. We'll give him that. Terminator 2 says, no, Mike. I know. Okay.
It's very problematic.
The Way I Am, I Hate It or Love It. You're not going to get that one.
We're not giving them both. Right.
Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah.
Should be 5-0.
Cleaning Out My Closet or Running. That's running.
That's running.
Forgot about Dre or Ale Boombaye. That's Ale Boombaye.
Yeah. I made sure Forgot About Dre wasn't going to win anything.
Till I Collapse or Put You on the Game. Let's Put You on the Game.
Yeah, 7-1.
Not Afraid of Why You Hate the Game. Come on, man. That's not even close.
Right. It's 8-1.
Without Me or Where I'm From. That's Where I'm From.
It wasn't hard for me to do my list, Mike, because that guy just picked like all the hits and stuff. I was like, this about to be fun. Give me 15, 20 minutes.
Love the Way You Lie, Don't Worry, featuring Mary J. Blige. I think that's Love the Way You Lie.
Do you?
Yeah, I give it to him.
We need something.
Rap God, 300 bars. That's 300 bars.
I just did that to be petty, Mike. That was a petty move. That was petty. It was like, it's not even a real rap song. We're going to win that too.
Superman, Wouldn't Get Far. That's Wouldn't Get Far.
Wouldn't Get Far. I was like, oh, man. I love Superman.
Sing for the Moment, Red Nation. Red Nation.
Right.
And I love Sing for the Moment.
I love Sing for the Moment too. That's why I picked a record that I knew was going to destroy it. Right.
The Monster featuring Rihanna. Got 2 Rihanna joints on here. And My Life. I think My Life is better.
It is. It's very thirsty. You see how I picked this list now? You see why I said I didn't need One Blood?
Like a Toy Soldier and Like Father, Like Son. Wow.
Right. See how I'm being petty, Mike? That's what I'm saying. I didn't need One Blood.
Beautiful. I don't even know what Beautiful is. Letter to the King.
Next.
This is 15-2 right now.
No, I told you I didn't need One Blood. That's why I was like, when you were like, man, people are giving you shit. I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, are they reading these lists? It's like, man, I waxed that guy. We don't need
Venom and Gangbang Anyway. Come on, man.
That was me being funny, Mike. I was being funny. Right? Hold on. Right there. That's when I just started being funny. It's like I'm just going to start picking records that I like and beating them now.
No Love featuring Lil Wayne and Pray.
That's J. Cole's best verse to me still.
We'll give him the Wayne one, even though I know that the J. Cole.
Man, Pray is a special record. Pray is a top 3 record on Jesus Piece.
It's a special record.
It is.
So Terminator 2 said it's 16-1, Mike. I know, man. We're giving them some, man. We gotta give them some.
Hold on, and y'all are hitting me up. Why isn't One Blood on the list? I'm like, I need One Blood. I was like, I need to play One Blood. Like with this list.
Godzilla and Name Me King. Come on, man.
Like to say goodnight to the people. I just said Name Me King to be funny because I thought that was an appropriate song title to end this waxing. I didn't even want to pick Name Me King. You know how much stuff I left off the board?
Come on, man.
Listen,
we have. That's why I said what I said. This has to be proven, man. Like, we can't just sit here and be like, game is out of his league or
hold on. How about
out of bounds. Like he's not.
This is what I mean about dictating pace sometimes in these verses too. Let me submit something to you. What if Game was to come out and do something like start off a versus Eminem by bringing Raekwon out for Bulletproof Diaries? Eminem's not winning that. You feel me? This is rap.
This is exactly why this is never gonna happen.
This is rap. This is rap.
Mad Max says you're crazy. How we do is not better than lose yourself. You know, that kind of brings me to the hook game. I think we were a little bit unfair to Eminem when it comes to his hook game. I think his hook game is fine. I think it's his rap voice.
So what did we rate his hook game? A 7?
I think it was something like that.
What do we need to give him, an 8 or a 9?
What do you guys think Eminem's hook game is like on a scale from 1 to 10? I mean, I want to ask the people because I'm thinking like he does have hooks like lose yourself in the moment you own it, you better never let it go. And then you got I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady, and all you other Slim Shadys.
Not helping this cause.
And then you got hi, my name is what?
See, you're not helping. See, that's what I'm saying. That's how he got that 7. You're not helping.
And then you got shaboing, boing, boing. And then you got just lose it. Ha 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 ha. I don't know. Maybe we need to go down to a 6.
You're not helping. Definitely not helping. You almost got an 8. Definitely keeping him at a 7 after you did that run. People are going to support him.
Huh.
You're going to have to support your MC in these MC ratings. I'm Impossible and might just be downgrading people randomly live on air in the show. So, you're really going to have to support your artists. I'm handing out 5 and 6s.
People are saying 8. I see 7, 8, 6, 8.
Right, better help them.
Air Pegasus says Eminem hooks are good. Okay, what are your favorite Eminem hooks? Because I'm going through some of them in my head.
Hope your favorite MC in this bracket.
Ahmad Boye said Mike convinced me to a 5.
That's how I was like, that's what Kim was saying. You not helping.
Okay, somebody said scary movie. Y'all want drama? Want to make a scary movie? Rappers coming in with their team and carry toolies. You can jump right out of the screen and barely move me. We hard hit. Directing a star in it. Well, that's him and Royce. But whatever. The one man on the planet did a jump off of the Grand Canyon, hop out of the Grand Dam, and landed a handstanding.
So we're going to keep that at a 7 until we get some proof or some more support from his fan base.
Okay. Y'all give me some hooks that I'm leaving off. Rock Bottom is a good hook. Rock Bottom is a good hook.
Which one was that from? Hold on. What's that?
Rock Bottom. I am what if you say I am. If I wasn't, that's Rakim word for word, but okay.
Yeah, that is Rakim word
for word. That's Rakim. I mean, for the people who don't know out there, that's Rakim word for word.
Don't sweat the technique. What a goat shit. Goat talk. Goat talk when people.
Somebody said cleaning out my closet. I'm sorry, mama.
I was actually thinking, say what you say.
Okay.
We can give.
I think he's okay with hooks, to be honest. But see, the problem with he has 2 problems with his hooks: his voice and the bad hooks are bringing down the good ones.
Now we gave Nas an 8 for hooks too, so we're giving him the same Nas rating for hooks.
I don't think so.
Right.
What do you think about the "I'm sorry, mama, I never meant to hurt you"?
7. I like cleaning in my closet.
You like that hook? Okay.
I didn't say I love the hook, but I'm saying that's one of his best songs, and the hook is dope enough. It is. It's solid.
What about?
It's better than I Know I Can Be What I Wanna Be. It's better than that shit.
What about? But what about Made You Look though?
Just never be better.
You a slave to a page in my brown book.
Yeah. No. That's that different stuff. That's that goat talk again. That's that goat talk.
What about this? Looks like a job for me, so everybody just ride with me.
7.
I think it could actually go lower, to be honest.
Let's say 7.
But he also does have Forgot About Dre, and that's a Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. And motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. You don't seem too wild from that hook.
7. After just the rundown from the people, but mostly from you. Actually, you make me want to give him a 5 or a 6. But apparently,
I didn't make these hooks up. These are actual hooks.
No. But apparently, I only give out 5s or 6s to solo MCs who don't create solo material, who are co-partners of groups where they just piggyback. Anyway, but
no. I mean, again, these are real hooks. I didn't just make this up. Terminator 2 says the Joe Black hook is amazing. You know what? I was impressed by the Joe Black hook, and I think that was one of the hooks on Magic that made me like, yo, Nas is doing something different. Thief's theme is good too.
Yeah, I mean, he's got great hooks everywhere. I mean, the world is yours. Kind of started out. Right.
Is the world
right? Whose world is this? The world is yours. It's mine. It's mine.
That's him and Pete, but yeah, it was his idea from what I heard.
Yeah, no, Pete Rock will tell you that was his idea. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if Pete Rock can tell you that now.
Well, probably not. He's a little man. Street dreams are made of these. Niggas push Beamers and 300 E's. The drug dealer's destiny is reaching the key. And he took
But you know what? This is the thing.
Clinics and flipped it. No, he's been doing dope hooks for a minute.
This is the thing, though, Coop. I think you have to have a really good rap voice to be able to score high on hooks. That's what we're getting to, because if we look at if we look at Stove, that's what this is. You look at Method Man, that's what this is. You have to have a really good rap voice to pull off hooks, because again, I know it sounds like I was shitting on Eminem, but I think that one of the biggest issues with some of his hooks is his voice.
No, you're right, because
word for word, his hooks are actually all right.
No, how about this? So let's kind of stay with the Nas thing, because we gave Nas an 8, we gave him a 7. You want to know what Nas hook is great, and it's great because you can tell he wrote it, but you hear somebody else's voice on it, and it's probably the weakest song on the album still. Watch Them Niggas. Mm-hmm. Watch Them Niggas. That's close to, like, him singing that hook is terrible. Foxy makes the song palatable. It does.
Somebody said Last Real Nigga Alive. That's a really good hook too.
No, I told you, got great hooks everywhere.
But again, I think that's because of his rap voice.
You're making me want to give Nas a 9 for hooks, actually. You make me want to give him a 6 and a Nas a 9.
I think we need to really look at that.
There's a page in my rhyme book.
Yeah, because the thing is with Jay-Z, he doesn't even attempt hooks. And if you look at Kingdom Come, that was the first time he really was taking on hooks again, like since he had been like a crossover success. And it wasn't a good outcome. Let's just say it that way. Show me what you got, pretty lady. Show me what you got, little mama.
No.
Wait.
No. Pipe that name.
I'm just saying.
Ooh. Yeah, it was bad.
Because I'm trying to think of like some of his better records where he did the hook.
No, he doesn't have those. I told you that. Okay, so this is one of those things why Nas ends up number 1 for me and Jay ends up at number 5. Right here. Because Nas got Made You Look, The World Is Yours, Street. Like, he got hooks like, Jay don't have those hooks, dude. No.
Money Cash Hoes is not really that. Okay, people are saying Dirt Off Your Shoulder. I didn't really like that hook like that. I'm not trying to sound like that. I love the beat.
I actually do like Dirt Off Your Shoulder.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I like that. It's motivation. It's affirmation. Okay. You know how I feel about motivation and affirmation at this time.
I thought he was killing it on there. Like that whole running back with the Rock.
The delivery on there. Oh my goodness, delivery on there.
If you feel like a pimp, man, go and brush your shoulders off. Ladies, brush your shoulders off. I don't know.
Helped Obama get in office. I'm with it.
Oh God. And Tom Ford, it's kind of like that too. Even though he kind of took a little bit of what MIA did on her song.
So you're winning and then you're losing. So let's just go back and stick with it. Not go to Tom Ford.
Let's not
go. Don't do that. How about we don't do that?
Okay. I'm trying to think of some great J hooks. Big
Rock
Pimpin'. Rock Boys. That's
Rock
the one.
Boys is a great hook.
That's the
Rock
one.
Boys in the building tonight.
That's one of my favorite J songs too.
Life. You ain't even gotta bring your purses out. We the dope boys of the year. Drinks is on the house.
Like, he sounded natural on there. I like that. Yeah, I think Rock Boys is a really great hook.
Ice. Yeah, that's Jay. Yeah, Rock Boys.
Rock Boys is great.
No, Rock Boys to me is his last greatest hit. Like where it's like, no, that belongs on your greatest hits list.
For me, I feel like the Rock Boys.
Singles.
No. I see what you're saying. For me, I feel like the Rock Boys is the perfect Jay-Z single for that age bracket. Like at that point in his career, I think it's the most perfect single he put out. It was mature. It sounded natural. He was spitting. The beat was there. It was festive. I love the Rock Boys.
You want to know what? I love that stretch on American Gangster. Rock Boys, Sweet, I Know, and what's track 9, Party Life.
Party Life, yeah.
6 through 9. That's.
I like ignorant shit too. You don't like that.
That beat don't snap.
Oh man, that's the Ozzy Brothers, man.
Yeah, I don't like how they freak the beat, and I've heard that beat 17 times from about 80 different rappers.
And then after that, it went Say Hello.
See, that was my problem with it. Because how about this? If you actually take ignorant shit out, and then you go to Say Hello and Success, I actually think that's one of the better stretches of songs of his career, period.
I agree. Period. We got somebody mentioning Song Cry. Now, I think we have a routine here, right? His hooks are good when he's kind of talking. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is conversational Jay, and I've always said the conversational Jay is the best Jay. But yeah, his hooks are great when I can't see him coming down my eyes, so I gotta let the song cry. It's a little different than, it's not as rhythmic as certain other hook writers.
Right.
Regrets is another one that people bring up.
I like Regrets.
You like Regrets?
Yeah, I love Regrets.
His hooks are monotone, and it's interesting for an MC that's so energetic and powerful.
First of all, he's not as energetic as people think.
Okay, powerful then.
I wasn't even gonna say powerful. You know what he is? He's authoritative.
Okay, authoritative.
Big Pac are powerful on the mic, vocally.
Somebody just mentioned Pac. They mentioned Ambitions of a Rider. And when you
nothing like that.
And so this is the thing. Like if that's the scale,
he don't have nothing like that.
Nothing like that. If that's the scale or what we're judging hook game,
Mike, I still sing that hook just because when the song's not playing, sometimes I won't deny you. I'm a straight brother.
Hey, I'm gonna go listen to that shit.
You already got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to achieve.
What did we give Jay for hooks? I think I might have given him something.
Give him and M6 is give Tupac a 10 and give Nas a 9. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I think shit, man. Mentioning Pac and shit.
The Pac's a 10 for hooks.
Eminem might have to be, man, 6, 7, man.
10 for hooks. Come with me. Hail Mary, nigga. One quick seat.
Right.
Those are 10 for hooks. You want to know what a 10 hook artist sounds like? Reference Tupac.
Shout out Darnell Lee with the super chat. He said, good thing Mike wasn't an A&R for Eminem. I would have hooked Eminem up with Jay Dilla. Like, let's work. I got a premiere track sitting here on the dresser for you, man. You know,
right?
Let's work it out. Yeah. I mean, if Pac, Method Man, and I think Mos Def is a 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If those guys are 10s, I got to be fair, man. I can't really, just how we couldn't really identify a lot of Jay-Z storytelling, his hook game, I'm seeing 7.
I think that's what I gave him, though.
I think that's around what I gave him, too. I just wanted to kind of circle back and have these conversations because we're about to clean up the list a little bit more and put it out there for the people. But I know that hook game was one of the things that I was like, you know what, we need to go back and take a look at some of these things.
No, I agree. So it's just, that's why I told you we need to stop every 20 and dig.
Because Busta's hook game is a 10, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's why I said every 20 we need to stop, dig, get some polls and comments from the people, formulate the list, and then on to the next 20.
Is Drake a 10 on hooks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What about Lil Wayne?
9, 8 or 9, because he's got some, I mean, bling bling.
Red fucking
actually,
nation.
You want to know what?
Bling bling.
No. Wayne's a 10. Bling bling is in the dictionary.
He has bling bling, even though back that ass up is another hook, but that back it up like and drop it like it's hot. That's something else. Like it's hot
is a cultural euphemism, just like if you know, you know.
And Red Nation is Red Nation because of Wayne.
Yes. So yeah, hooks 10.
Not to mention Duffel Bag Boys.
No, 10 for Hook.
Yeah, Wayne's a 10.
Bling bling is in the dictionary. Like that's a 10.
Ooh, Luda. We haven't gotten to Luda. I think Luda's scale is going to be very interesting.
Me too.
We haven't picked our next 10 yet, but I think that guy needs to be in the next 10.
We got to slide some in there. I know we got to get out of here. We got to slide some ladies in too. Somebody actually jumped in the thread and was like, are y'all doing greatest female MC of all time chart? And I promptly let the young lady know that we actually are going to be rating MCs unbiasedly, which means the women are getting rated on the same scale as the men. There'll be no sexism or separatism or separate list involved. So the females are going to get weighed up the same way the guys are getting weighed up. So Light, Latifah, Lauren, Digga, Nikki, Raps, no, they getting the treatment the guys getting.
Definitely. Yeah. You know, it's got to be totally balanced with it.
Getting the same smoke. Like I'm gonna tell you what, MC, you know how I feel about MC Light. She getting some smoke because she didn't write all her stuff, Mike. The School ED wrote a lot of her stuff. She gonna get some smoke for it on the ratings.
She should.
We rating, right?
She should. Are we gonna do Missy Elliott? Because that's the big question, and I know we kind of dodged that before.
We need to talk about that.
I think Missy's one of the greatest hip hop artists, period. And I've always made the argument that there's no female MC that has the catalog of music that Missy has, album for album. So,
no, I agree. You and me, we'll have a further conversation about
that. Yeah. I think that's just about it. There was one other thing I wanted to cover. Oh, damn! It was somebody's hooks. I had a question about. I'll probably come back to it, but yeah, I think we should do Missy.
Okay, we can squeeze her in. You know what occurred to me too is hip hop has grown so much. We're going to be hard pressed to get everybody in 100 MCs, Mike. Like somebody hit up the chat and was talking about like OC, and then when he said OC, I was like, damn, Chubb Rock. And then I was like, oh, we're gonna be here all damn year.
Well, okay. Somebody just said, where do we place somebody like a CeeLo? This is my thing. If we rated Andre 3000, we better rate CeeLo.
No, we are.
Because he actually has solo rap stuff.
Say less, Mike. Say less.
Just saying.
Say less. No, just say less. He has solo rap stuff.
He does. He has songs with 3 verses and a hook. That's more than we could say for Andre. And you know what? CeeLo's hook game is probably a 10 too.
That's what we be doing out here. Doing group work and solo. You can do that.
Well, I think that you made it very clear that, we penalized Andre for a lot of that too. Because, it is what it is. He's like the only person on the list who doesn't have those qualifiable attributes.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, technically the qualification should be that you've released a certain amount of solo albums to be included in this conversation. So just him being included in the conversation is a caveat.
Yeah, straight up. All right, well, let me get to Ray Realm super chat and then we'll get up out of here because I know we both got to go. Ray Realm said, Mike D and Coop, everyone in the chat, check out Backwoods Sweetie. Whoa. Okay, we'll check that out.
Okay.
All right, well,
a little something.
What we're going to do next Wednesday, though, we're not going to come with a new 10. We're just going to kind of refine the list that we have of the 20 that we have. And then we'll make sure that stuff is roundabout and, cut to everyone's liking, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, just, include the people, let the people decide about some of the stuff. What we really need to do is we need to get our rating together, like the according to hip hop rating, like yours and mine, combine that, and then let the people on Wednesday kind of do all of that. Yeah.
We'll do all that offline, and then, like I said, we'll get that together and then put it up on our community section and see where people have gripes, and then we'll address those things on Wednesday.
Yep.
And that then we'll have a verified list, or at least a verified 20 and good scores that everybody can agree on. All right?
All right.
All right, so we riding to Tana Talk 4 this weekend, and shit, we'll probably talk about it a little bit more on Wednesday. And you know what? We were saying that we might possibly do a Monday show and talk about Dave East real quick. If any of y'all heard Dave East's new album.
Hey, Mike, I got to roll.
All right, cool. Well, we'll talk about that possibly Monday. We'll keep y'all updated.